The Asampa Pontase Onye Campaign for Christ as a Chichire, Amas Community Radio, a Swift Fankatia, Pasolo, Sewabwaso, Senapi, Sewa Prabon, New Life, Manso Edubia, Jiname, a Brum New Town, and Mayamon Kanyami in Swita Pachi, Dida Amangwase, Dave Rose, Ya, and also Ewakana. Facebook Live, and YouTube, Oyerepa FM, and Oyerepa FM online.com.
News.
Ampa nonsiana boy adesimamba imamu nyina mu adwo ene anwumre yi ensuo na gugu ama ewiemu adwo esra mu asenkafo na adwo bre kakra nyame de obia bedu fie wai enye America tente mesra oboko eye boko tobo ase boko wai ye do mamu nsam ne nkofo ma so de ana ebre wo abusua de wo mu nie opani kwankyerefo ye hwe abato ho nsam so wandi samanyo konum etese yisi ne nsam bia wo kan wo hwe ne ye pa na abato ho sunsuanso no nyese bia wo bo wani a na de aba bontene
abai ashampanimfo bi anim de efa apomde ho nsam ho se adwumakuo ye de fiza ene modena ya wo mu kiremu wo wa manone na covid-19 wo manya eho adura ye de be wopane no wo so wo manya adwuma no manya hwehwemu ye pa ansa na oman no be kwa akwaji bi ya kwaji bi
Honorable Kennedy akompre ko ohene Japan mi hu na mekanti yese menye asen center mrase bedwane no kire se ndi samanyo ko no tirimu poye gun krata so de ba manifesto no hwemu dia tumi sapetasi kom
Benefin wade sama to dwa wo kiremu abato ya enu na watwemienu ne ye beto no na na adodan kwa akufu adoto ne preko ene odi bedi nkunum no wahamu nchichemu aduonum mienu achi poso nsia 52.6% ena akufu ado benya ne hwehwemu emu
yanko atoye atifi mantam no emuan na mantam no soafo eye wonimamfo Kingsley Aboagyegedu wade ensama to dwa ene wo kirekiremu se mantam wa tititimu no oh so be tabua
Nana sewa bonsu wono ya manten nana no ba hema wode ato nana jeno poku ajaman ya oya running mate na tuapemu ema John Dramani Mahama se koba se NDC di nkunim wa abato ni ma wasra wa mo ntwa wo mani emehwe amanten ene ne mpatam ne free rollers ebra so empumtu obi ani ho akoso a omanya bi
ensam no doso anwumere yasinkunwa no ye de nyina ebre wo koria ye ho atwuma ama prince mame akoso anhira ba mame yu na afenso MP omunyina ya kama ede amayen ya frame kwamra kase obrempon anwumre mene
mame efia nyako papa bi
adesima ma ensam no nkiremu no sei ana esitie sane nso wadwencha ne ade no yama na kwa badase mo son pa dase mu dase bi mra biem e Facebook no so ebra wa bawura mu e wo Oyerepa radio no asam ne yetietia ene san bo Oyerepa radio obuo ne de kwan so obo se abie se de tia ye kenkan nsam no wo so de wo de ba na ye pia so kama na ye kwayanim eda mo nyina mo ase taxi drivers tour drivers efie nyuma mo nte so ampa obi ajatum sa ne board ne firi nyame asante mantam wadum boseba abrosan ne mu eye Oyerepa 100.7 FM ye nua no sentence so anwumre yi yetuche ede mamon ende samanyo kono anam Opani kwankyerefo ya ohwe abato ho nsam so edema wo mo Yewura Elvis Afriye Ankra wode nsam atodwa ebra wone nsɛmtrɔfo edi enkomo nasema bo ka nyina ene se maami je mensa ene ne dom wo ka asɛm bi akyerɛ wo mo pa abana ye kɔto no enye nkoda asɛm o abana ye kɔto no enye nkoda agudie ɛna abana ye kɔto no eye Ghana fo daakye ana ye kɔ na afeso ye kɔto ho aba ɛno nti sɛ wo ye pani pa ya ye ma wutumi na mrata wɔkyi sa wona wotumi de krata aba bonte sa asema na so obenta na se bia konto ana adinim ewo enche na wotwebienu aka ye kɔto aba no a na wo de wo se ai wona tumi ya wo de enche wo de baba ntenten mo adan ya we na din kunim ana we na awie ana fa hin kosi hene ana sei wo ka kire mo se ansa kwa na obato aba na wie no na be free baabi baako akosi baabi baako kura ansa na maka keka abom ansa kwa na mabobo hu aka ne masiani abu nkonta hu se asemasi de na ne de dɔɔso ani ade no wɔn bɛhwɛ nneɛma bi yie wɔn hwɛ nneɛma bi yie pa na abato no wokɔ ka asɛm yɛ nti a 24 hours pɛ ne yɛde sunsuaso na ba abɔnten efiri sɛ yɛnyɛ mfidie yɛnyɛ akadeɛ nneɛma bɛtumi aboa yɛn ɛne yɛto aba no nyinaa no ne yɛ kan ɛne adeɛ nyinaa wɔ sɛ hwɛ mu di agorɔ yɛhwɛ biwie.
As part of the comedy of inconsistencies that dent the credibility of the EC, the EC earlier on announced that the result of the elections will be announced by the 10th of December. In another dramatic departure from this announcement, Dr. Sribo Kwaku subsequently announced on the 18th of November that the results will be declared by close of day on 8th December, barely 24 hours after close of polls. What is the basis for this claim? What mechanisms and structures and systems and processes have you put in place to ensure that this claim that you are making, you'll be able to meet it without having any problems? How does it work in practical terms? Because it's a process. Elections are declared at the polling station. Those results move from the polling station to the Constituency Coalition Center. From the Constituency Coalition Center, you have now created another layer, you claim, at the regional level. Then from the regional level, it will now go to the national level. And especially for the presidential ballot, the Electoral Commissioner herself is supposed to be the chief returning officer. Now, at every constituency, before a presiding officer will declare that Akwesi or Adwoa has won in the constituency, that returning officer must be able to see all the results, certified results from every polling station. By this process, is she telling her that she's going to see every single result from all the 275 constituencies before she makes a declaration? Can't we see the danger here? So you see, they are creating another unrealistic expectation, and then when the day comes and by that time they are not able to, what would they do? Are they going to cook numbers? Are they just going to announce any other thing at all just because they want to meet an unrealistic 24-hour timeline? Who forced them?
Enya de se obia e pam wo mo. Enya de se obia e hye wo mo na abana ye koto no. Ansa kura na wo de be free point A akosi point B na empanifo akabo mu na omabu nkunta na hwese asomase anaso obentin na edi nimu no. Enya de keto asa o. Enti se mo antom bo ase wo niema bi mu na ade na mo ye no. Mo antom bo ase a. Wo sa se mo pepere mo ho. Eba ne sanso a na eniema koye bebere nti wo sere wo mo ada. Obia enhye wo mo so. Omo nto mo bo ase. Na adwuma na omo ye no monye na Ghana fo ehu nia ebumu we no aye pani kwankyerefo a wodi animu ewo NDC amanyoko no ewo abato mu ensem na asem yi eba ne sei no a sei na NPP amanyoko no so eje no efa efise obi ani abre na asabi wo ka also bi beyi ano ne ehu sade enema esitie saa no mo nso ka no anase na ebre kwananim enti yisi ne kasa 24 hours wode abato ne sunsu aso beba bonti a na ye ne kwan so a no no efise o mo sene se ye to kwana machine no kenkan a na ama o mo ho atimi aha o mo na aye kama anwumre nyame ya dom ama ye nsa ka ye Rua Steven Amoa wodi ode kire mu so ewo nhyaaye so a wo kire mu tenten se Ghana fo da roma kumase fo mo sansoma no na wonko na bibia no enye kama ewo NPP amanyoko no adimu masoro pani pa so eno no miwura anwumre ma ni so wo bre pa o Oyerepa FM so ni
Mejemoso anwumre
miwura na bibia boko de
Nyankopon na mo nso e
nyame adom papa bibia boko pa no wogine mapase campaign su kuso ekoso kakra
okay oh Nyankopon adom bibia e kana me da se mo so ma frɛ me sem person chairman twi
aseda ye nyame dia na wo call grounds no grounds no stable kakra
oh Oyerepa
nkranse semu ho
Nyankopon adom oh nyame adom Nyankopon bi pija na do dampa
meka wo kra no nhia so ne ade ho mpo na
oh se mo ndie nkwankwa ni hia
saa ho dia ka de bonus
no de nyame fa me nkwan no ano
ona was the canon no mira what Roma director of election de ma NDC amanyoko wa kasa wo every yankra etre se yisi no agro na ompesom ne Ghana fodi no omhwe bibi ye pa na ye mu ye to about 24 hours so sunsu so na ba bonte na sa no pesa wo tre sen when asamo yam fa ne sen mira
mini me da se next year etie for you na every yankra mini ano onya bote kakra na de okay de fagye ye na kakra dabe yisi no eno wona so ye eno aye na nhyehyɛ na eni nsan nhyehyɛ so de bia yisi ne nneɛma na kɔdi emerity na ye yisu opaque ballot box bibi dem a unhu sɛ adekorɔ dem ena etie ba transparent obekaya edu ne example na sɛ the picture na black and white ena etie ye ba colored enti oboni bɛsia the process has gone through metamorphosis odi asie aye ensatrade de biatom ama ye kwani ena oboni sanfere bi asymmetric information yaka asymmetric information asie bi oba thing where cause oba eni obia ni ametri demand bi bu minia we say anchor na gbe bu and so the no as we ever know in the human who didn't share property. Now, when you say you share a panel or the go up claim, you know more results and entema. Every young cat wants to have the or with issues. And then I just said, let me give you a clear vision, almost 15 and over property. About 2016, 9 hours, no easy, thank you, boy.
Now, Koyan Sembe Bureaucratic, I said, I am a comfortable lady near the
now, few of this so I had no so, and I received it to my self. I didn't get mine and tell my also great. And then the on premise, media, mean to cut your empire brand and easy. Or do you feel the yo? None and she shares about 12 crema, equal that in any day, now I come and ask you about kind of here. Now, after say, easy, or over on that, or China, 2 hours, 1 hour time, or the 1 day, 24 hours, you know. And then if you say, I have a few anchor, the issue, any issue. Getting up as you have a one in no, the answer will choose best level. Why? To me, you know, you buy a day I want to the back. Results from that are fine, every day I come on. And then I'm here. So,
you made a minimum so and some of my car bomb you know has no boy ya no mammy. One, yes, in one Casancasano, and this Amanokunu erase concern, a one home. And now, so when you say about one and quay into almost all means. Somebody your body can prepare, almost supporters no mind they say, ye kai na saying CNT and young one.
Oh, and that's when you say NGC there. One you say, a bear cockatoo, or my emergency say, Philippi, I come down, Quama, woman to me, and it be a taxi. Now, that's the wishes were no horses. Oh, they are here. Ghana for to Abano, no more to Abanama MPP, the New Patriotic Party. Then Uncle Poya, the Muda of finding a winning idea, and it's going to be a shame. Almost she said, Omania, no more to MPP, I am a Yokua, any agent say, if a faculty can be so active. To Abano, the Pepper, now be as soon as Ghana, in my partner, and the Danko Kufra way, a best cool share, Mofra Echo, a brand new idea, and Yamamodin, which you say. A back a man to be a boy, you can summon share about 1D1F. This to the a bois and Quacker companies, almost 30 factories, about 1 village, 1 dime. Sanya Manina, which is a bear and the shade free. Now, thanks to no enemy GD, and this is Wabo, Domania, Sabi, only baby. So, the crowd tools on their day, but the idea can say, a Buka.
Me rather my wall. I was out for the young force, the Namu the car and a friend or any team come on, which them a 1 people among the Kunutim, I was share about on Pessoa Santimantem has say. Or no, I know team come out, Manabun Mwasa say, and some of Crado Nano, Waka area, in United say, and this Amono Kuno, Omunyado, Mokano, Nagana for in Yaiti.
Abusia for yet wakasi abono so amamo na ya wadwumakuo kase bi ya ewo New York America abrochememu abrekro no so German adwumayefo anase memu nufrafo ekuo bi nso so ekeka ho ya o makomo ho aboma omuye nuro dodo na no de ma ewiase afana anya di eda omo so Pfizer and Moderna na omo na atimi aye nhyehyɛ omo so omo de aduro bi aba ya eno no ebeko atia COVID-19 anase coronavirus no enu nti no kraman bi ho no ma omo ya age atomu anesa ebi te say Ingresi ene amanya hodo America na enso eka ho ebie na sansebe we no na Ghana aban say woni a enimu de efa enuromu ehwehwemu no omunim ho akade no enyam hwehwemu yie pa na omu hwehwemu no na bebo ama yehu se o man Ghana se yede ye ho bagim ne yakwaje aduro ni bi anase ye nkwaje bi ye ho nsam no etesen na kwanchefo pani ya oda o man ya pomuden aso ye ano ye Director General of Ghana Health Service Dr. Patrick Kuma Boaje na din nsam wei atudwa enne ebro mo friends antwofo nhyiamu efa sede entoto ya akọ ene enura ebi mo kire se aba na betimi akwati COVID-19 ene ho the
number of cases in September, we have 42. We had 98 in October, and November has not ended, but we are doing a higher number already. Okay, so that's just a secretary of the data so that the number tested total of 69,000. September 46. Or the whole of October 98, but as such, the say 24th of November, we have done 120 positives. And this goes in line with the surges in the rest of the world. And so we are also seeing the reflection in Ghana. And next slide, just the positivity rate. Next slide. Yes. So you can see that most of the passengers who tested positive at the airport are males compared to the females. Next slide. And the majority of them are Ghanaians, followed by some citizens from UK and other places who are coming in with the positivity rate. Next slide. You can see it's the US, UK, Nigeria, UAE. This is where we are having the positivity. This helps us to see the kind of risk profile we give to the people who are coming in this area, and also influence our strategy as they come in. As we say, we still continue to encourage even those who have tested negative to remain as self-isolation for a week or two, so that you can still, because someone can still turn positive after he has turned negative at the airport. Next slide. So most of the people who are coming from the airport are residents in Accra, followed by Ashanti and Bono and Central. So the majority of them are in Accra, and that is why we believe that we are having some of the cases in Accra. One very important aspect that we are looking at is the vaccine situation. Currently, there are a couple of more than about 10 or so campus that are in different stages of vaccine development. Some are in phase 3, phase 1, phase 2. Next slide.
Dr. Patrick Kuma Abuaje wano ne kwanje for penny or do meya pomeden asuye ano ne nsam no na o cheche nsam ne de bana no wo chem say no say ye hwa wo man no said ye covid no na sentam no esima ne homre so ekodu apem wa ha ne ahasa enkono aduasa enkono na say dia so ate aba ahanso aduaso enum 775 cases na SC nti wo chema na o man Ghana e free eye match na obenem bosome ya yare ni bi ba o man mu no nipa ya omanya bi yam pema duonu mu baako ahanu aduonu emienu 51,222 cases na yenyaye na emu empem aduonum wa ha aduonu enso 50,127 na ya discharge o manasa yayi wo mo ama omo kofia o mafo mo ho dia na so omo ho ato wo mo enya nipa hasan aduonu miensa 223 na ato nananom ewonse adunti se dia se ye ka na chese eso ate ama enipa ahanso adioso enum na ye beka so omo wo yare ni bi.
And then finally, we've done some quick assessment on the application for the protocols, particularly masks, to see how we're making progress. Currently, we have a total of 51,222 cases across as a country since the beginning of the outbreak. We have discharges of 50,127, and currently our active cases is about 775. The last update, we had about 1,139 active cases. So we had a decline of about 500 active cases, which is a progress. The deaths still remain 323. I know there are a few updates that will come in very soon. And our total number, we've done about 583,000 plus tests, and that means our tests per million population at about 19,451. As you can see, this is our positivity. It was very high somewhere in June. It dropped in October. About 2-3 weeks ago, as we explained, we had some little hump. There was a cry, but since then the numbers have been coming down. I can see that the positivity rate is coming down, and it's getting back to about June, September values when we were having relatively low positivity. Next slide. The same can be seen about the epic curve as you see here. You see the first hike, and then the middle one where about June, July, October, September, when we had the surge and the decline. Currently, the little
Doctor Kuma Boaje and no nonsense so honoma and what did to Jaffa nose mask and as a face mask no ya yes no was such as a Ghana di yamfa kra yanti se dogobino abe was who pa nipa no ye de kwa hamu chichemu nipa wa hamu chichemu de watwemienu 82% and anti se dogobino abe nose mask no wonfa nya hwe ya yenhye wo ma mo hye no so kra no ya eye kakra bi na enipa 7% na chese enipa wa hamu chichemu nso ene sha omutimi hye ne ye kama kata o mohwene ni o ma no na emu wa ha mu chichemu du ba akode obehye nso so na ba bi eda no wa nche bi kura na nkeye.
One is just our adherence to protocols. As we said at that time, we've had issues with the increasing cases early in October because the protocol of application of the mask was quite reduced in terms of all the protocols. Workplace issues were challenging, and so we have actually had to intervene to ensure things are done. We have got about 5%, but the subsequent, we've done some survey last week. Just a marginal increase. Those who are not wearing is still very high, but 82% of people are still not wearing masks. 7% are wearing, the rest 11% are wearing masks but not wearing them accurately. So that is a far cry from the 44% that we had a couple of months ago. And so the same thing here. If you look at not wearing masks, about 80.2%, and then not wearing at all is also moved to that high.
Auntie no Dr. Patrick Kuma Boaje oba o mema apomuden aso ye no wona ne kwanche for penny na Dr. Penny awoda no e wo hono mensama wode atudwa ma ye nti wo se Ghana wo hwe mo mo hye no smart no ha mu nchichemu ye du nwotwepe e na ehye emu wo ha mu nchichemu so na ehye ni ye edu ba ko enhunu hye e na edu watwemienu 82% ne de obi akora ntese bibi wo ho ya obi amfa ho mpo na no smart no wa hye nso wo sere e se ye nhye na eno na betimi aboye ho ban
anwumre no nsia brem kase e na wasogusu ya wuti na ja ene abefo ntentafidi na da roma wanya bi ya wo hwe no na ye de ni kyerem nso e wo asen central embarasebo dwane de ma adesia ye wo asen central ayerumiamfo Canada kwamprɛ kwa huntahunu wo hene Japan mi hunu amekanti ye se menye ene de woni party na chitafo mapa ahia e wo gomua dominance ye wo gomua isabato mpasua so wo mfimfiri mantamu papa na sema wo kan nyina nie wo se Ghana fo mo de mo ankasa ankasa mo nka no kore sai de wo ko school kura na sebia mu wonim ngoma kura kakra mponu a obi a wabie enwuma 2.2 million ene obi a obetena so mfie bebre ya wo kan mo so mfie 9 mfie nwotwe na obi adwuma 1 million no wo de wa adwene kura betena wo se to aba na mahwan obi ba na mfie 9 wabie 2.2 million adwuma obi so betena so mfie na mako nwotwe ene wabie 1 million eno kura de edikan na de to so mienu kura na hie na hi ye ne tan ye na bofo kura ne se and this yamanyo kono di omutiri mo poye gun krata so de bai kwasko konse manifesto omo de bai na omo de bai na samba akwa bede hiri wo mu pa ne se yadua no muslimin som no ade se ya wo zongo no omo nkama kuma nto yam ba wo bai obesi mochira kono nika ade mo mo kranto omo kuma nto yam de hia ne so mato bana de ma andi samanyo kono ene kana di chese so hu okan no obo a ene da ho no we wakase si obekase na Kennedy ano ya enye na no na ya sabi obi pa wonwe apatase mro ye no sa asem we won kada entie no
for much we are sure say NDC formal true manifesto no magini no ho enye apatase office and combat trust asem we Akufo-Addo MPP manifesto about out 1 month and sign the NDC manifesto about out MPP manifesto say as of June 2020, we are creating 2,055,000 jobs. As I speak now in November, we are creating 2.2 million jobs. Now, NDC 4 million already a manifesto. Omu ya Roma Sako Kachira say, Omu ba creating 1 million jobs. Who are sure say Omu no magnet down. I'm some already Omu manifesto. Also, Oba created 1 million jobs for 4 years. Obia created 2.2 million jobs for 4 years. What's the Uber Sano? Name of Oba 2.2 million. Oba Tisha Manaba 1 million. Oma Bong. Yan Sam Koyachi 2.2 million. Now, Statista Kamahama, NBC Bekachira said, Oba created 4 million jobs. That we see. and believe say yes, when we a progressive party. Now when here, what's the mean call exchange 2.2 for 1 million? That I know and I'm cost. Choboy, and Kimbatua Momana, we are voting for our future, especially the youth of this country. Vote for your future. Vote for your brothers and sisters' future.
We honorable Kennedy Japan Asen Central Embrace Journey.
Yagusua ewo abatuo ni mu na setiefo beka ye mfie pino eni dunsia no wowura Ben Epson wono managing editor na asamufo panini ema dispatch da wo bokrata no den samba tu dwa wo kiremu ena sabatuo bi eba wota eka se we benya se ni hyehyɛ ya dodo na no eta abam na mfie pino ni dunsia na sade wode ne nsam tu dwa no wo kiremu ase Ghana mampani sa abre no John Dramani Mahama wono ebedi nkunim ewo abatuo ni mu ya wo benya wa hamu nchichemu aduonum mienu achi 52.6%. Ama Nana Danko Akufo-Addo anu wo gina ama NPP amanyokuo no enya 45.9%. 2016 abatuo no emu na osade nsafo frabetu dwa efa abatuo emu sade waka 2016 na dane na ne nsafo de abetu dwa ya wo chemu nya ne sa abatuo a edwade ebe na wotwe Ghana ekwa akoto no Mampani Nana Danko Akufo-Addo obenya wa hamu nchichemu aduonum mienu achi paso nsia 52.6%. na chese atopereko ene yebeto no na John Dramani Mahama ya wotu franka ama NDC amanyokuo no so no enya wa hamu nchichemu aduanan enum achi paso enkono 45.9%. said you dey nsama tudwa no na no na nsembisa bi kokọ so afa 2016 no said you obeka bi a ama musa no ni wo chirechiremu a wo said ye ma ne dane ye ne say John Dramani Mahama nurses any teachers o mu cheni allowance no ya wotwa mu no eka ho bi abekro no wan so no MPP for the corruption as a proye ho kata se penti wo mo pa ya wo mantumi ampopa besi sa abekro mo mpopa ntia no so ebesa akwo atia wo mo ene wo sa chem se free SHS no said Nana Addo dia bana MPP for the year campaign sa Mahama ba obetwa mu no enya dia Mahama so atumi asi ni pipa enya nyina so obi sa wo ba ontwem ebekwaso wo ntia no ena afi we ya bato ne benam so ama sa akwo atia NDC amanyoku ni nchiremu ni.
Now, for these polls, because of COVID, we did in the swing region of Greater Accra, West, Greater Accra Central, the main, and a bit of West. Today, we've given 3 main grounds why we think Akufo-Addo will win first round. One, in the course of 2016, in September, President Mahama said that he was withdrawing the allowances of teacher trainee and nursing trainee and dared them to vote against his government. A month to elect, he changed his mind and disbursed the money. So that was one of our first point of call. And the NPP had been able to infiltrate them, and they now believe that if President Mahama comes, he's going to withdraw it again. Because if somebody who needed you for his second term withdraws the allowances, what's the guy? So they believe it. That's one group of them. Two, in 2016 elections, the NPP was able to paint President Mahama's government as being corrupt and believed. The other side of the coin is that the NDC has not been able to paint the NPP in the same way as NPP painted them in terms of corruption. President Mahama, in course of Nana Akufo-Addo's promises that he was going to have a free SHS, showed his aversion. So there are people who are going to vote for the NDC parliamentary candidate and vote for Akufo-Addo for the free SHS.
Enti Ben Epson di odi abetu dwan no na chese wutie di okeka no kra no oka besi se NDC fo na abi kra no omomra hyebedwafo no ombeto ama omle so mampani ne die Akufo-Addo no ombeto ama no free SHS no ehu nsemutia na o chechem no wasi Greater Accra yankra pumpuni mantam emu finfin mantam na atoye mantam na ne Sovia na nhwehwe mu okoyeye efa afi yabato ya wo chem sa Nana Addo Danko Akufo-Addo ebenya 52.6%, ama John Dramani Mahama enya 45.9% no wode ebetu dwa ba bi okoye nhwehwe mu no eno
yamfo ye nkyeremu ewo atoye atifi mantam no emu na emrase badwane de ma adesia ye wo honom ayerumyamfo Kingsley Aboagyegedu wono na kasai ana wotrese no kura ne pempen de wosene pen ebre na mantam no nkyechemu no enya maaye no na adesia wo honom no eho kyere wo mo papa na wodo ne kyerem ewo atoye atifi mantam no se yira ya na hinkro no eyese hwewe osose no a no kura ne akwan ho nsem na dem wo mo pa wo so wontra manfo kyere kura na anu adaya wono a ahead I say what try na bia hwade won ani kyerem e wo secondary takrade no agya wakoye adwuma kakra e wo aban no edimu ane ade a na first no kra na betumi aduru secondary takrade ho no no atwa bese ne fo bese miensa se bese nan ansa ko no atumi aduru ho na so nenam sa aban aba na niam nyina da kwan mu nti wo si kwa no so anche kra ana oduru yade chen ya wo san ba ye nti wo ni kra ya dance dia etesampa aban ye tikasi a eso da ye.
Services of these institutions and committees, which hitherto used to be accessed from Takoradi, and anybody who is familiar with the terrain of Western Region then and now Western North and Western Region can appreciate what we are talking about. It used to take a whole day to travel from Adabokrum, the Bia East district of now Western North Region, to get to the secondary Takoradi, which was our regional capital. So it means that if you had a meeting at the regional capital, you needed 3 days to do one meeting. Travel for the first day, do the meeting on the second day, and then use the third day to travel. Now that we are at Sahiri also, coming to a meeting takes not more than 3 hours. It saves all of us time, and it saves the state money in terms of fuel and maintenance and everything. So indeed, the region is doing marvelous work for us.
Abua maniema so atimi atete abua krama sikasema atekra ne ade abre ne ade nyina benediem obefa ne ade nyina obetena ka mu kwa tentententen ne nyina na ma eso atimi ate na makwan ya omaye ne ho no enti na kwan no so de aka nyina mu nyanje no behwe so mbetimi aye no wato nsa de free ho.
In terms of developmental projects, one of the main causes for me as to why the chiefs and the people of Western North, then Western Region, agitated for the creation of the new region was the nature of our roads. Some of us could not understand why an area which is so endowed with so much natural resources, including cocoa, bauxite, gold, and everything, could not boast of so much good roads. If the records have it that out of the 3,734 kilometers of roads in this area, only 710 are paved, and leaving about 2,553.5 kilometers of road only graveled, and some of them, we call them graveled, but indeed they were not passable. Now, under the new administration with the creation, we have so many of these roads, and I will confidently say that almost all the major roads in the Western North are under construction.
Akwanya hodo ya won potam ho nyina de obetu ne nsa senebo people say no kuranie but focus so ya so mo ye ho atwuma tenten na boama akoba de atimi akonanim we no eye atoye tifini mantam no so aformianfo Kingsley Aboajijedo
Abi fubu okwini Jaina na opoku ajaman ya wonu yetua pemu ma John Dramani Mahama no mutu Frank ama National Democratic Congress NDC amanyokuo no ne ntu aba no wode namu a bepia santamantam ha no ma wode akofam wa adwira ene ne mpatamu na okofa atromo ase ye wa tebubu amanten mansi mu ade bepia mu wo Sene West mansi emu a eye People's Manifesto ye NDC de no wo kyerkyere mu ade kyere nananom ene wo manfo sade beye no mo betumi ate ase yie na wo kopia mu e wa tebubu amanten na bono mpatamu ho no no na je opoku ne nsama wode atodwa ya wo kyeremu nyina ne se NDC amanyokuo no wo hyehyeye pa eso mo beye e de aboa oman Ghana ama oman latimi atumponto omo nto aba no emfa ema won na eno na oba hema ya wo no wo amante na nanom konwa saase so Nana sewa bonsu ya wono etoso mienu wode ato na je opoku agemanim sa na dawroma wosre na se kwabase tumi no ebe ye woni John Dramani Mahama dia wosre no esa amanten potamu die mpumtu abom sa de dwonso abom akokọ no wo meye bi emfama won no mo so ho ntimi ntowo mo na wo kyerkyere ma de besi se ebra o mampani da Jerry John Rollins ya wo ya ne ba bi kro no wo ya mampani no ene wode anyam kanea ene apomodi aya asabia ni bi eba ho no ma wo ye kwan efiri adwura betwa mu awa amanten de yaji na chese asante mantam di kopie yaji bro mantam ho no mo no e de ema wo firi ho aban bia ni ho no ma wa ba watwa nani abehwe wo munti wo sra nana eso omunya tumi ni bedi wo man na konwa no so a omunya nhyehye se de be yo mu betumi aboa wo mpatam ho no ama wo so atumi adi ye e wo bunu east mantam no emu
ni bia ni kroi mu a chese bi wo bi kro so aye de wo bi tete wa Rollins adawro mo den kani abraye Oma a secondary school. No, yeah, quite free. Come as a basi ko ye. Inti dia sense nyankupa buana mpaye no etechire na ɔde akonnwa no ma na ba ɛnneɛma no dɔɔso yɛntumi nka ne nyina na mmom nipa yare a ɔntumi nsɔre nkɔsala anto aba ɛsrɛ madaroma yɛyɛ deɛ wɔ ha no yɛmfrɛ ne health post mpo amanti kuro kakraka yi sɛ obi yare a yɛankɔ kasa yɛ agye sɛ akokoa yɛtɔ so mmienu yɛ market nyɛ wowura market no ɛte sɛ sɛbe enwamuom ɛnso nipa na kɔwɔkɔdi dwa asɛ yɛde kokrobɔtie no kora ne bi yɛde to aba ana yɛ awerɛho afei mane ne bi nso ne ɛhyɛ yɛde amanten yɛyɛ nkoa ama atebe mu ɛkyerɛ sɛ market house ɔmogye wɔ kora yi ɛyɛ sika ketewa ɛno nkoa kora tumi yɛ adwuma ma yɛ akaaba no ɔmmerɛ yɛ ho mɛbɔ yɛ ho so yɛnyɛ bi Roma. And your mommy and say,
Nana sewa bonsu yawa yamantin ehima na no asam enono na eye nana je opoku ajaman so nsam ode atudwa wo chemu nyane se woni jo dramani mahama ne ndisi amanyoko ni gina ho no mampumtuo enti wo mo hihye yemu no mpumtuo de wo mo beye bi wo mpatam ho a na mantin health center no kra no se tumi ni bedi wo mo nsam wo bema na ya sabia kese ye hospital ni bi se de beye no manfo ho no mapomede ho nsam ebetumi awie peye
sana mo na ho abamfaso ho abamfaso titira ma ichirima na ho abamfaso so ama yan ho asese de bi so aso ya meni na nsama wo bi sei nye bibia sebe ehonwa enya adia eso dodo na enya adia wo hwe NDC ye wo boye wura Rollins di nyame fa ne kranse NDC for no yet politics na say input to adwuma tena na wo kan so wo ka kanea wo ka kwan ntinke ni say yakwa nim no de bia baba kan na say de wonim no sabe say de nyina so nim na wani mo amso ye ni party oba odi school ene ayaro sabia ene enoma ekire say o ma no kwa nanim eba say university say polytechnic say hospital na when say bra John Dramani Mahama oba hadada no be kan say health center no oba upgrade na yensu ye nim o mampeni o sebo a odisu de ni nyina mekwa akoka ni bi mi gidi se ni refi enso ade ba ko abanim wo no ho ne say wo kan asem bi kire no a won kire o ya ne ade enso wo ni tiri mu a wo de adwuma na hye wo nsa no obebisa wo sesa de no ekɔne isa na wonim sɛ yenso so yɛmbɛhye abo akɛse be esa na akɔ sese be sɛ be amfebu amamo nti de awa ka no mate me de bɛkɔ ana yɛbɔbɔ mpae mo nyina mo ntae akyi yɛhyehyɛ bibia wɔ manifesto no fɛfɛɛfɛ de wo kai ne nyina bi wo na yɛ nyame pɛm sɛ nyame no si hene na mmerɛ no so na edu yɛ wura ne meso a na nka de awo ka no so de ayɛ adwuma na asomdwe aba na meka ne sa na medase bebrese
Professor Jaina na opoku ajaman
abusua yantoa ensam no so ai enche na yekoto aba adwada ba na wotwe na kyese kremo obakwa ne sa anasa bi ya kremo enya nkɔ obi bawe enye de na obi benso bawe obi badi nkunim enye de na obi so badi nkunim ampa de womu nie yefu ye nkyem ewo PPP amanyo ekuro no man na de wokura franka de ma PPP amanyo ekuro no awake os ya asore ene Ajam Fem Party, Prepapa Preko. Mamma ya wodi o manimu aya brigade Jigbanuku. Na Jigbanuku trasa ampa onim de ekɔ nyina efi sɛ ampa onya akwada o panim. Asante mam ha de onti mama ya rof onim de awon sɛ de na obotimi aba asante mam no betanta ha sɛ me frɛfrɛ chitafo bi sɛ ne ai ene mommra men kansam kyerɛ mo. Bra ko aso bɛyɛ si o mansia se ho sɛ mansia bon sɛ yes pani wo krom ha. Bon sɛ kro na ya obidia. What I say one penny tintin in the theatre biana, te master mammy biani, or buy and was what? May come and chef Cassium, Namdi Mohako Santimel Ropim, so a Santimania Mecassia, or do Bocassin as you want you know as Santimantimoti as a for your goodness, no matter Papa Honshira, Yansa, Ahuade, na Watemano, our Casamu America, every time a book must say, Nasa man coffee Cassium, dear, bra, na some yaba view. Now all Cassan watch them say, PPP among your conos, Yamanokua, say a dinner branding, no quite camu. Omutimi kura omudiem so ade bia ya omoye mu ade bia omoye bia nso awiabom enti mame.
We have come to the Ashanti region to start our campaign, and we thought it's only proper that you come to the owner of the land to ask permission, introduce yourself before you go and engage the natives of the land or the people in his land. So that is what we came to do. So officially introduce myself to him as the flag bearer of the Progressive People's Party, and also tell him what we stand for and the reason why we want to run in the elections, the 2020 elections. So that is why we came. That was our mission, and it went on very well. He received us very well. Peace. We come with a message of a political party that stands for truth and integrity and honesty. These are universal values that go everywhere, and that is where we came to share with him, to say that this is what we want to go and share with the people of the Ashanti region. The message of peace, and the fact that he knows, he said, that we run a clean kind of politics. So, and knowing me, he knows we are not going to run anything to, disrupt or disrupt the peace. So that is what he shared with us, and given us that reassurance and also the belief in us, that knowing that this is what our party stands for, was very encouraging, very reassuring.
Owura Bridget Jigbonuku ono ana DPP amonuku nim say Frank Akurafo ana otese na obowura mu manhia fikesie mu ono wode nsama tudwana eno achi na bade akire eye wewura Kofi Asamoah ono so kasai.
Oh, so far the say we do materials na eco districts and regional offices. Amudama police fortress so near dey in say Ghana house the intelligence system about to the control. The can say omonye professional work BNI for national security for any police service electoral commission adwuma no omonye adwuma no for Ghana national duty omonye adwuma no ma say be about to so ana party to so enti national love for Ghana any patriotism no indi omanim about no mo hweso no na homachi electoral commission abejo wona mo fa ba bi da fa ba bi and the any brain into kwasem ni hu ba omo professional job there bibia ni ho ebesi the kakra be kanka ho ni say electoral commission e dey atudwa say results no be announce no 24 hours I say novel first time a bibisa AC nkane kwa so ano no na mom dey kan say yan hwe na omo ampro mo ho anko name the wrong person within 24 hours. It's too sharp. Ntika bibi timi aye bibia na krojin ye beba ne ade na 24 hours no they declare results no na the correct person. Ne an ringing an ko mistake dia nkeye. Omo hwe no mu ntimi nya no 24 hours na omo nya botre na results no mra correct and say no mo da tuda because opro ho kotuda na say Mr. Ewini na fe information ba say Mr. B na Ewini a A4 ntiase B4 ntiase na wan hwe akofa de empaba.
Wey yewura Kofi Asamoah ono na running mate edema PPP amanyoko no
Yentu akase abano so na Israel man na musini ya wo mayi mu wowura Shani Kopa Zubida woni nsanjofo atwetwe nkomo na nsama wode atudwa no efa Ghana ani Israel man no entama yonko fa se de sitie ya wo cheche mu sese ye ka Israel ne Ghana na ya afi apema henkro aduonu mu ni mu ya 1950s no na yenya yonko fa kese pa wo cheche mu sese wo ba bibema mu kra na Ghana ani o man ya edikan ya o mu be bi o maso ye wo Israel man mu gi Israel man no etum mu 1958 na chesa yonko fa eda man ni mienu ntamo no ya yonko fa kese pa na ewo mu se Jalijo Rollins ne breso na sa yonko fa we na mu tete ye na nso no emfie mpinu ani duba ko no mpanifo timi sa ye nhyehyɛ ya Ghana ene eye Israel man no sa ka o ma yonko fa no ebo mu bi ma sese no Israel man na so ye ebi ewo nkran na Ghana nso so ya man ya so ye no ebi wo Tel Aviv ya eye Israel man no kropon kese.
We reestablished the relations 26 years ago. We built the embassy here in 2011, 9 years ago. Actually, the person who reestablished the relations was a late former President Rawlings. And it's interesting because the first president who established the relations was President Dr. Nkrumah. Both were very different people, but they both understood the potential in the relation.
Shani Kopa Zubida or ya Israel man na musini ewo Ghana na so fa wasade atudwa chem se aman ni mienu ya saka bom na boa amampum tuo ene ntoto ya kase pa ya de fapem pa aba abeto yentem.
Since we really built here the embassy, I think that the main change was on the consular services. And, you know, it's surprising, but the consular services is a pivot of the diplomatic relations, because once you can receive a visa to Israel here in Accra, and you don't have to go to Nigeria to receive your visa, there are certainly more people from Ghana visiting Israel, more Israelis, business people coming to Ghana. So we saw a rise in the business sector. We saw a rise in tourism. There is room for progress. We're talking about hundreds of people coming every year. It's not a lot. We should do something about it, and we are. I think, though, that one of the things that another point in the timeline in the relations between Israel and Ghana happened 2.5 years ago, when the government of Israel decided to make Ghana a focus country for the trade and economic in West Africa. So Ghana became the only state in West Africa to have an Israeli trade and economic office.
Anti no akeka besi say Israel man no yesa no mo kabo mu no na abaye ntoto ye hyehyeye se obema Ghana abaye o man a adwadie mu nsam mo ni Israel no emu betimi ahye den pa ye o mas yesa hyehyeye na Ghana ene eman o man ye wa bibima mu a che so mo ni Israel man adwadie mu nsam kita hodie no ekoso kama ho hyehyeye no enti maame hyane kopa Zubida ya wo ye Israel man na amusi ni o man Ghana mamu ene sanchofo nkomo a oni omudi ye bi eno no.
Alliance of Drivers and Ashanti Regional Drivers Association, omo na ekasa yi. Omo kire sampa, omo de o man ko school anko anim ko omo se dokron a eto ahye de aben. O man ko school ndu ba bia no broni no ofiri gina ho no mo a, omo hu susu e dantamu. Adenti omo nim bibia akra aponche, ene odwan gina ho omo hu susu e dantamu. Omo asem nyina ne se. Omo friends and trofo ene de wasanti manta kropo kumasem. Ama mo de asema to nsem trofo anim se mo nka na mansa nyina ante. Sese ya sesa ye nkuku ene kaka nyina de akoma MPP aban. Ya Ghana man pene His Excellency na Nado Dankwa Akufo-Addo di omanim. Asem ne tietia o ma ye breakdown bi breakdown no ene se kane antiama pa ba akofo na penso no petro gallon ba akose no ne ton 3 cedis 50 pesos 3 cedis 50 pesos na nyame ya adom na Ghana for say ne bo odre na Ghana for ya ena omoton aban gu ya tu aban gu ya no mde ndisa manyoko no bai say ndisa manyoko bai no ma fom ho adwe no se nkofo ye be kire obo pa kire be kire obo nyane se ne petro no omotum boom na drivers voice omo tira so omo ba ya ade 3 cedis 50 pesos no ma ye no 17 cedis and demonstrations omo ye na no pa awia anwumre ye mua wo mo na de se be awia se ho ba na wo so gu na no mu a ya wo mpe en se mapa ya ban kura de ababa akokura sa eye omo nika kura mpo ne se ene se ko jitu mi krata ya di twi ehyen a kwasiko sa lances ya bra wo ba wani eni na won sa aka wo ye bibia mu da ho awia bo bibia ma hu ni de ene ma sitie enti so man so mkuku no mkaka kura no ankwadwane MPP amanyeko na nyame kura bebu so masam nyame kura no mu nche ne ye kura fre say ade na ba ne ye no ebo wo papa ama bibia so etimi koso na organizer ede masa koyi yewura Ismail Mohammed Osman okasai
kuma su kesi pa na ya John Ajekum Kufo wo free abem na wo ja petrol 3 cedi 60 pesos yewura Atames ni Jomama regime no ombe peje mo kodu 17 Ghana cedi 65 pesos. And this a share difference now say the percentage no say o ma peje mo up to 400%. Now 2016 yawa your man pay Nana Ado Dankwa Akufo-Addo eba abem no ekopim samre efi 17 cedi 65 pesos no yawa mampenyi timi maintainer kopim se samre de okoto petrol 18 cedi 68 pesos enti kase in percentage na chese entumunu less than 15% na chese o mampenyi Nana Ado Dankwa Akufo-Addo e wo se bona baso nyame hia no yesaba DVL sensema emi se adeba ni pe lances a obebresa echiwa na obi akodi ni sika onsa nya lances ni bium na o mampenyi ba no ni hihye pa odi ba Ghana no a ebi ɛka yɛ adɛbɔfoɔ no ɔmo bɛyɛ no paperless as say wontimi nkɔfa nkyɛn biara sɛ wode me sika kɔma wei ana asemesi sɛ me pension lances ne nan sɛ wobɛkɔ DVLA directly ayɛ paperless within short time na yɛayɛ ma wo so far nanado government no yɛ adɛbɔfoɔ deɛ wɔayɛ ama yɛ papapapapa
Awurade ayɛ ɛde ama wɔ mo ne nyinaa no yɛ MPP aban tikasi aso da yɛ nneɛma nyinaa gu akwam kama ɛde ma wɔ mo na saa kuo ya titani ɛde ma kuo ɛyɛ Alhaji Baba Siaka kyerɛ sɛ hwɛ na aka se deɛ me nua ne kan no ano na wogya bi kura wom wogya bebre wom kura kyerɛ sɛ aban ba yɛ 1D1F Free Senior High School de ohia ne chobos wona wo korɔ no na yɛ mpɛwɛ ne yɛbɛde ahin ewiase hwan pa na wohoro nanim kɔsoro obi a wohoro nanim ba fam entie no
ɛyɛ furuyare ɛnyi sɛ wɔfiri wo sɛ ansa ne wɔ ho wɔne yɛ wo yɛ obi a na obi ayɛ dɛn obi mɛsrɛ me nua no ɛda no duru a yɛsrɛ mo monyɛ adwuma woto a ɔba wiasa yɛ adwuma fi sɛ obi bɛforo kaa ansa na wɔn nso akɔ baabi akɔto n'aba nti woka sɛ wowɔ ato awie wonyɛ adwuma nnipa no bia na wɔntimi anante ankɔ nti yɛsrɛ mo woto wie a na wɔsan bɛhwɛ adwuma ase kɔpem sɛ nonum no bɛbɔ na wɔde wo kaa yɛ dɛn akosi wa fe ne etie di aka enyi e ho nyina ni se de e koso no de nyame na aya wi nipa nya dan wontimi nsesa no ba bi meti awa be busume miensa ni bibi kire madwi madwi ko madwi ho saa menti ase ebesi ne e de na kire madwi ye ho ha enne edum so ba ye mfie nnan ya ka kire se ese mun na kania munti labe busume woyi mamuntua ya antibita ene ya dakaniam awia na dwunsuo to ni nyinaa esi so ni yetimi acha ye bi saa de madwene ho ane madwene enhia enkopra o se ebinom ba omo nwene yetimamfo no omo nwene ye ho kwan ya omo no befa so a omo ho beto omo no ano ne ade a ekoso na se yetimi dakaniam na edi bi acha ni ya ko hawo mu ye to petrol ye to diesel ku ye manji na wande kura ni wa saa busumi wo die kama mo ba na mo ba to diesel ya dwi ko akire wo dwi ko akire a susuni e wo emse wo se uhun tie
we chairman Edema Alliance of Drivers and Ashanti Regional Drivers Association omasam ya boya to dwane da bra mo friends am twerefo eno no asam ye tiatia anwumere wada roma ye bedi dinti ye hye no so se time and chances fast food kronom station one man afi so tafo scoreboard junction wo ho aduane bia bomu bia na mo bia no tonsa frɛ wo no ma obindi tia for all your programs dwumade bia wodie bia no wo adwuma mo na se bia wo fie wo hene fa hye no so TC time and chances fast food ana ye frɛ no ba bia wo hye bia da no frɛ wo mo 0249 0308 30 0249 030830 na wajoso Belto GPC heba mesa duru nso odwama so makade a kyerɛ sɛ sisi ade ne nyinaa bɛkɔ ahyɛnkafo ne ade no ma no motena se saa cha na asɛm yɛ akɔba fie mesra mama no so yɛmpa binom bɛgya adwuma ne nyinaa kama hohoro yɛ nipa dua no mama ahoɔden ne anigye nso atimi aba KG heba omrom Fred Meseba sawen ko heba dane heba free heba nso ɛwɔ Aston so ankwa hene no fie hɔ no a ba be tondro bia no wo sɛ wo pɛ Paul amantem na nso sɛ dikafo eno no bi 0244 939-193 0244-939-193 na wache so Break Monster Doom Oyerepa FM Prekasa natural ginger drink no betu bi koton bronya babanya sika de agubotom kodan so benya kwan na atimi aye ne ma kama pa sika wo hono mo a wudi nkoma kura nkoma no sisi so na mamu ne sika asem wa sere kwa na obu afu mesra wa adwuma wo nya ntira bomade ma won saka prekasa ne bi anase bia wudi traffic anaso ni ba bia ton prekasa ne bia ya nuanom information centers bebre eton prekasa ne bi wo ya nyame ya adona bawura ho na won saka bia wo na wo kura no be bo siesie ni padua ne kama efi ne nyina so ba abonten wonya duru Oyerepa FM se wutu bia koton de hye no nso boss ba bro san mu a cables ahodo digital video recorders ahodo adapters ahodo standard fan ceiling fan ya use remote na fence USB sawo mu a ne nyina no CCTV cable na cameras ahodo nyina da na wutu akoton anase bia wo ye ne nkrokro a hye no nso kuma se dum Oyerepa FM 0541 125 339 0541 125 339 na wajoso anwumre yi wonum say wani no ane we kania space line eye care and American for them I say wani no how biada wonam wo wani no obi wo hono wo dem kwa dum kania pe na asem aba obi wa wiabo a wo hu ade ne nyina nso no num koboyi wo hu ba bia obi wa ade kwa na wo hu ne nyina nso ben no abo e wo akira bo ne nyina no ye hawa wo wani no ho for ne kɔ na yɛhwehwɛ mu yare bi na ɛba yare na badada anasa fe na ɛba ne nyina no ɛyɛ space line eye care ɛna meka ho asɛm na mede akyerɛ wo sɛ kumase ha deɛ wode no a na wode asɛm ntɛntɛntɛntɛntɛntɛ na bɔpiri wɔ mo na wɔne no haw biara no yɛyi ɛmfa ɛmfiri hɔ na ɛmfa ɛma deɛ tie ne sɛ wɔne best point savings and loans ɛna ɛwɔ ɛdankoro nom ɛgyaba mo street no hɔ a prempɛ the second street hɔ nom a ana obutu saa nso na Dr. Mensa haya lansa building no so hɔ yɛ wɔbɔ adwuma 0264 901 891 0264 901 891 and 0559 809 090 na waje oso yɛnua ama no mesrɛ mo ya mo nsa no nso pa sɛ oba de wo yɛ aduane a ma onsa no enkasa ene ema ne bebre ni maduane ye bebre ni maduane ye kura nti oba de wo ti wanim na waje wo 3 points anwumre waje asoso de a eno ano eye vimo eno na aba yɛde yɛ abomu ene nkwan papa bia na watwe kunu abɛn wo ho saba ya obi entimi fa aduane nkwansoro bia enkwankwaje no vimo no de wo yɛ aduane sɛ bi wa amfa bia nya bra na enema ya ha adwin sister mesra wo kan ho na ma wo nsanka vimo no bi eno a yento sosonko ya ba ya ne kama apomodem ne ade mu no egina brane a wotimi de yɛ bibia mo amo ya mamfo nuane ayefro nuane ne ade no mesra wo ɛyɛ vimo VIMO eno na meka fo na mede ama wo matimi afrɛ empanifo na ɔma boa wo ama wo nsanso atimi akabi anaso matimi akɔ ba bia ya wo tontos bi ne ade bia no wo so perfume wo kɔ na nya vimo a mesra mento wo kɔ na enye vimo a mesra wo mento hyɛ no so pa yenu aba internet o kwada so matimi afrɛ no anaso matimi afrɛ empanifo na nkasa wa homa yi so na ɔma boa ma wo nsan kan hyehyɛ ne ade bia wo ho bia 0242 950 599 0242 950 599 and I say yenu aba lizin so e wo ginyina ase high school no hon mo main gate hon mo vimo ade pasha ade pamu a ye kan ye nto sabi una wo kro wanim no frempani for na onye so afia kobra
abusefo ye to akase aba no so ede amamo na ye kwapo ye mantam ni nyina ne sa prosifo ne mpanimfo wo honom no wo ma didwuma bi a chesa kakuma bi na watwemi enu na o man Ghana ye beto aba chesa na fo adu mienu ntama na ye to aba yi mampani ne mrahye badwafo na bambofo wo adwuma ye enti a prosifo mpanimfo wo honom no afre bambofo adwuma ye ko bi te se fire service immigration customs fo ne wo mo a omo boban e fa abato ani dwumadi ahodo a ye die no ho a eno o ma tu santene edi afa achema nyina mu ati wampatam honom eye achema osi no eye fanti akwa south abato mpasua no so anasa mansi ni mu a ni nyina no mo de kire wo manfo se bambofo wo ho ye omo beye adwuma de abo omo ho banti obi anyi hu mfiri ni mu omo beye omo afa mu de bia sade beye na asomdwe beba afi abato mu a obi ntimi nyi obi awuruka de ehunahuna obi a emo obi hu ewom na DSP Wiafe Daniel wono ene de yansam wetu dwa ebra wo mo etu montene eso
Tia man na ye say dwumadie ni say ye nyina nim say o man mu nyina 7 December ye ko general elections ye beto abayi ye mampani and ye embrace bedwam so efo na ati say security no ye bibi ma amanfo no so nya confidence e wo ye mu say tax na da ye nim no ye betumi aye ya so no ati say ye tese ya ho odin because adwuma na ye be no from 5th 6 and 7 to the security and even 8 because before, during and after they decided say you buy exercise B now I know district no a 2 a Etiwa East and a Pantiaqua South it is security has a why immigration fire service the police and the annual custom ambulance services a cambomu say nedue no you buy route march no and as endurance no and as be a show of force send a the general public now walk Etiwa East, Fantiaqua South. Almost a year, so we are ready for Abato ne to come December. Abato na ye won say Ghana first. So the sha echewa bi mu dia. Na won say obia wo to me kwan say edu ni mpani so na wanya 18 years a o man bra no ma kwan say oba exercise o franchise. It is obi koto na badia me nyi ni say Abato unti e de basabasa ye eba.
DSP Wiafe Daniel ono ene din some way etudwa na mampania na musini o Etiwa East Channel po ya mansini mu eye honorable Kwabena Penny Kansa wo de afutuo ama o manfo so munya rehemu o e wo procedure mu ne bambofo mu na se de tie bia bambo ho nsam de enya de ho beto chema e wo abato yim
Because I'm say election task force yeah person so I just say ma my phone who say ho bambo no ehia empa etina ese omo ye sa route march no na asema e ka kire me say ese bibia no say abato odu so a na ama atimamufo no ebo mu kakra say bia ntokwa bi anabasa basa e bibesi etina na ese ma ma reshe mu say bibisa no de intimacy na yesre say ye no mo kasa ese babia do boko bia no ese o hwe na enipa no obo omo ho ban ese okobo nipa no ho ban yese bia okobo nipa etina say obi e bibia na omato ombo ase no mo makasa kama na afenso no ema omo areshe mu say ade bia ese behia no mo adwuma no so akoso no assembly no so aye crowd say o de beboa na omo adwuma no so akoso even omo call remote area try what district mu no ye de ka ho aduane ene niema fata say de beboa omo ombe na say omo nyina de anije eso aye adwuma no na atiwa is senior medi kan no atiwa no sa 2010 de na esi no ye mpese ebibesi wo ya ha no mo.
Honorable Kwabena Penny in Cancer, ya wono ya mampania na musini watiwa mensimu. Wono so areshe mu odi ama prosi fo ne bambofo e wa abato no dwuma hodro ya omubedi mu e na ye TV.
We yenu aba adwabo ahema wodi aba na wo se woda ya sepa Oyerepa kase anwumre nsa wa yekenkan no ano no. Saso na asiedu enkatia chama asiedu enkatia no ebura asebu kwaman kase no wo se hey race ni ya shase o. Na so kwa bia so na bokwa chofo so kwa bia so we fa no one time cry for your man osenye no azema so dia ba Chrono Ventures one mo wo se the demo loud and clear pa na so na do dan kwaku for ayi bebe de maka na fonti kwa bia so behwe na fa so piapia ne ma de atoma ma no na bibia so timi akoye fine pa anwumre ete amano man piano so dia ba na wo sampa amfo hyere nto aso dia adwuma na samna sikura tietietie Ghana for na do dan kwaku for do yan sanso ma ne biom na won santo adwuma no a wo ye no so bosseba amist goso so nko wo dia ba na say na do dan kwa akufo ado obesesa Ghana so nkonkwa so kura ma jese obia yembe hye no anwumre yi enya asam keto akura ne de ya wode aba no ochia for regional minister onumianfo opoku bobie ne de ya wode aba no Christopher fofo so wode aba and I say Ghana for are ready pa say na do dan kwa akufo ado mfie na yembe de ama no na say akuo su boy wode aba and I say mahama onya se otutu Ghana for so no puso aba nyina tese wawe onya de wo cheche na kire ho no na mensa Bonsu seka hafuntoto so de aba na wo se Jam Brennason Fripo kwa abiri kasem Frimpom afia koto brodo Cranton Clues Blinks Nail Pop Coffee Richmond onabo abedi kwada so busiam fa nche Brennason ne nwumre na nakobra kaso Frimpom nyansabo akwa ayemete anwumre na se bi we fama Korea ne na badi a chira no Richmond kwa be boga Frimpom ja dwuma nyina ma PM Prisi ene Mami Juna Feso Stefan Owusu Sechre Mami Akosua Ensraba Christabel upon Dazi Anna Billy Busuani nyina so Tiko the Darren boy mu nyina ye adwuma kama ama ye de ensam nyina ebrewo ena afei
Mambe efia nyako ena mote yenka ne ye de nkai ba yensa ka eto amoso na nantwibu asia ko odi kan